Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my new video. My name is AJ. I'm here to talk about a few things going on around the world at the moment, especially in UK. I've got a really funny story for you at the moment. Look at this. Leave at first sight. I took a Ukrainian refugee to live with my wife and me, then ran off with her after 10 days. We're in love. This is the funniest story I've ever read in my whole career. So I have been actually uploading other videos as well, but unfortunately YouTube has demonetized them, so they're going through review at the moment. So there's 2 videos under review. So I have been I keep getting these strikes on my channel, unfortunately. So this is why I kind of ask you guys to support me on Patreon and buy me coffees and stuff. So not sure how long I can survive in YouTube, but I'll try and go on as long as possible. Anyway, let's carry on with this story. So this is really funny. Oh, it's the funniest story I've ever seen in my life. A dad of 2, so he's the dad, right, of two kids. He's run off with a Ukrainian refugee. This is British for you guys. So this is absolutely hilarious. I mean, look at how happy he is. Oh my god. So you got this is ex-girlfriend. So I don't know why he's got like a teardrop in his eye, because normally you know, I don't know if you guys have been watching some documentary channels, but in America you have all these gangs, and if you kill someone, you put a teardrop on your eye. So basically, don't know what this guy thinks he is, or whether he thinks he's killed anyone or trying to act tough or anything, but you know, I don't know. Anyway, let's carry on. So this guy is from Bradford. Bradford is a very well-known area in northern part of UK. It's got a lot of Pakistanis living there. So the girl is called Sophia, and she says she's fled the city of Lviv at the start of the war and was given in the UK by Tony. And she says, as soon as I saw him, I fancied him. So you have all of these young single women coming all the way from Ukraine. Like I said that in my previous video, a few videos away. You know, I said that last week. I think I mentioned a lot of Ukrainian women coming to UK or rest of Europe to find love and husbands. They don't want to go back. And she's from Lviv, and Lviv is, you know, not occupied by Russia at the moment. It's not in the middle of any conflict. Sometimes Russia sends 1 or 2 missiles at, you know, at military complexes, but Lviv is not in danger at the moment. It's right next to the Polish border, so I don't know why she's asking for refugee status when that part is mostly pretty safe. And she comes to England, and as soon as she sees him, she fancies him, even though he's with another woman. These Ukrainian women, man. And it's been a very quick, but this is our love story. Oh really? Yeah, 10 days is very quick. I know people would think badly of me, but it happens, if you say so. I could see on how unhappy Tony was. So she comes to UK. She fancies him, and she looks at him, and she's like, I could see how unhappy Tony was. So she thinks he was unhappy with his current missus. So and he took her 10 days to figure that out. Oh, this is ridiculous. So the dad of 2, he's got 2 kids, right? He's 29 years old. He stunned partner Lorna by walking out just 10 days after they welcomed her to the family home. So they obviously have their own home that they live in with kids. So it's absolutely ridiculous. We're sorry for the pain we've caused, but I've discovered a connection with Sophia like I've never had before. Oh my god. We're planning the rest of our life together. Really? So is that what you said to your ex-missus when you had 2 children with her? I mean, this guy is a total, I don't know, there's a word for guys like this. But, you know, his ex-missus got 2 kids with her. They've obviously got a home together, and he leaves her for a Ukrainian woman. He only meets for 10 days, and he says we're planning to spend the rest of our life together. And he says that after 10 days of knowing her. So it gets worse, guys. So Tony moved his 6-year-old daughter from her room into a bunk bed with her 3-year-old sister to make space, despite Lorna's objection. So Lorna is his ex-missus. So then as they lived together, Tony and Sophia fell for one another. This is like the love story of the century. Tony and Lorna's daughters, who also took Sophia, but Lorna grew resentful of the bond they immediately formed. Obviously, I mean, I must say, right? I must say, Lorna is very, very stupid for doing this in the first place. I mean, what woman would allow another single woman, especially a Ukrainian woman, to live at their house? You know, especially if they got kids around. I mean, this is how stupid some women are in UK. I mean, not all the blame needs to go to Tony. A lot of the blame needs to go to Lorna as well, his ex, for allowing this to happen. You know, any other woman would have stood her ground and said, you know what, you're not bringing a single woman to our house, and we've got kids here and stuff like that. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, the fact that she's agreed to it. Anyway, finally, Lorna ordered Sophia to leave, and Tony followed. So this is what's happening to a lot of Ukrainians that are coming into UK, and you hear this kind of stories every single day. Ukrainians coming in, you know, with they thinking they're privileged, and there's also a story about how some Ukrainians in Germany burnt down a Russian flag, and in doing so, they burnt down the whole property. However, I'm not sure if it's fake news or not, but it sure is funny. So it gets funnier. You can see here. At home, I realized we were finding excuses to touch and brush against each other. It was very flirtatious, but nothing more than what happened at that stage. So let me get this straight. The guy was with his wife and kids, and she was basically, him and her, they were basically walking around the house, you know, sneakily touching each other, being very flirtatious under the nose of his wife and under the nose of his kids. So it gets worse. When I got in at night, Sophia would be the one who had made a meal for me to try. So basically, she was cooking for him while his wife was probably asleep. And I gotta say, this is 100% true for most men. I don't know if it's the same for you, but I know for me, you know, the stomach is the way to my heart. You know, if a woman wants to take me out, feed me in Nando's, for example, I would love her. I would appreciate her so much. I would give her whatever she wants, because I do find that it's true. You know, if a woman cooks for you, she takes the effort to feed you, make sure you're not hungry, then I do appreciate that woman a lot more than than somebody who doesn't. And I think it's true. Basically, a man's heart is basically through his stomach. So a good tip there, girls, if you're listening. So he says here, she told me privately, Lorna is lucky to have you. She's come all the way to UK. And she's not thinking about the war. She's not thinking about her family in Ukraine. She's not obviously upset about that Ukraine is losing. All these men are being killed by Russia. She's not thinking about any of that. She's thinking about getting into his pants, basically. Tony continued. She started getting very jealous and was having major arguments with Sophia, asking her why she was with me all the time and why are you following him around. So let me say this. It was your idea to bring in a single Ukrainian woman to live under your own house. So what do you think is going to happen? Men end of the day are going to be men. So you can see here. I told Lorna, if she's going, I'm going. No, they had an argument here before. But seeing we were becoming so close, it came to a head last Saturday when she really went for Sophia, yelling at her, using some harsh language, and left her in tears. She said she didn't feel she could stay under our roof anymore, and something inside me clicked. I told Lorna, if she's going, I'm going. I knew I couldn't give her up, and all of a sudden it seemed like a no-brainer. We both packed our bags and moved into my mum and dad's together. And they lived happily ever after in his mum and dad's. So I can't really end the story without giving his ex-wife's point of view. So you can see this picture. His ex-wife looks very unhappy. She looks very, very miserable. And you can see them in the picture, in this picture. They're looking very happy. They obviously got paid photo shoot, and they got a fake lens flare on this side, as you can see on the top right side. So it's obviously a fake photo shoot. So this is what his ex-wife said. Shattered by betrayal, Ukrainian refugee Sofia wore low-cut top and put on makeup when Tony came home. She was after him from day one. The mum whose partner ran off with the Ukrainian refugee they welcomed in has sobbed. She has set sights on him and took what she wanted. Yesterday's Sun told how Lorna, 28, felt she had to kick out 22-year-old Sofia just after 10 days, and she was heartbroken when her partner decided to go with her. So again, I mean, yeah, she's looking very, very miserable, and I've kind of got no sympathy because she agreed to this as well. I mean, what does she expect? You know, you're living at a home with your husband and kids, and you want to bring in a single female living in the same house. I mean, I just don't understand why she would let this happen in the first place. So she has a lot to blame as well. I mean, guys are going to be guys, and you know, think about it, guys. If you're married and you've got a wife and you've got kids at home, and you suddenly decided to tell your wife one day, "Oh, I want to bring in a beautiful Ukrainian girl to live with us." if your wife has any sense, she would start smacking you with a shoe. No woman would really allow that. You know, I don't know why this woman did. So let's see what she says. Lorna told the Sun on Sunday, "I had my reservations at first, taking the refugee in our home. Who wouldn't? We were bringing in a stranger to our house to live with us. That's a major decision to take, and I thought I was unsure. He wanted to do it. The situation in Ukraine is terrifying for ordinary people, so I decided it was the right thing to do, to put a roof over someone's head and help them when they were in desperate need. And this is how Sofia repaid me for giving her a home." Well, I'm sorry, I've got no sympathy for you again. You know, you're totally brainwashed, and, you know, you're completely brainwashed, and you're allowing her to come into your home. What did you expect? Seriously. She set her sights on Anthony from the start, decided she wanted him, and she took him. She didn't care about the devastation she left behind. Everything has been turned on its head in a space of 2 weeks. I don't know what would have done without my friends who have been there for me every minute since he left. I just don't understand how he could throw away all that for a woman he's only known for a fortnight. The life is shattered. Security guard Tony signed up for the government scheme to the house to refugees in the wake of Russian invasion. He found the application process too slow and took to social media to offer help. The dad, who works in an NHS drop-in centre, was introduced to Sofia on Facebook and offered to become her UK sponsor. So it's kind of making it more clear now. And you can see, you know, basically he's seen her face on Facebook, and he thought, "Oh, okay, she looks quite pretty. Yeah, I'll offer her to become a UK sponsor. But you have a wife and kid. Oh, don't worry about them. Don't worry, I'm sure they'll be fine. Yeah, I'm sure they'll be fine. But yeah, I'm happy to have her in." So I think he obviously saw her picture and thought, yeah, let's get her in. So she flew into Manchester Airport and moved in with Tony and Lorna in Bradford. Within days, tensions rose as Tony and their new guest grew close, and Lorna began to regret ever opening up their rented home. She became increasingly suspicious that Sofia wanted more than just a roof over her head. Her concerns grew when Sofia would put on makeup, style her hair, and wear low-cut tops only around Tony once he returned from work. Lorna finally snapped and kicked Sofia out, but was left devastated when her partner of 8 years, packed his bags and went too. She said that She just wasn't interested in spending time with me. We did go shopping because she got £200 grant for clothes and essentials from the local authority. So not only these Ukrainians are coming in, they're getting grants from the local authority. This is taxpayers' money, by the way. Um, During the day, she wore no makeup, didn't do her hair, and made no effort. And that changed after 5 p.m. when Tony came home. So obviously she was trying to look good for Tony. Suddenly she'd come downstairs in red lippy, hair done, and a low cut top. I first told myself I was imagining it or being irrationally jealous, but sadly I was right all along. I guess you kind of have to feel sorry for her. She's a poor woman who's left with 2 kids, and they've had an 8-year-old relationship, and he's basically just left her for a more beautiful Ukrainian girl. And such a shame, really. It's a real shame. And there's over 54,000 Ukrainians who have arrived in UK, by the way, and more are arriving every single week. And it's a big number, and this number is expected to go over 200 or 300 in the next few months. So and you can see a lot of Ukrainians are leaving Ukraine more and more. You know, as they're increasing more taxes in Ukraine, more people are leaving Ukraine. I mean, this is a chance to start a new life for a lot of Ukrainians and to live a better life in Europe. And they see their future is not in Ukraine anymore. God knows how long the Ukraine war is going to last, and whether Ukraine will still exist after the end of this war. But even me living in UK, and I can see a lot of Ukrainians, not just women but also men as well, and they feel that they're privileged. They're going into shops, getting free stuff, free food, free services, and you know, the women are here basically to try and get married, try and get kids. They don't want to go back. And the men would probably be chasing British girls. They want to get married and stuff. But, you know, I don't see a lot of Ukrainians ever going back, because why should you? I mean, if you're clever, why should you go back? Because you have to think about it. You know, Ukraine's not making any money. It's going to be really poor. It's going to be completely shattered. And they're talking about raising taxes as well. So the people that are living in Ukraine, they're going to have to pay extraordinary amounts of tax to survive. There won't be anything left in terms of Ukraine. If Russia takes all of the east and all of the south, and if Poland takes parts of the east, parts of the west as well, there'll be a rump steak version of Ukraine, and it'll be heavily in debt. Who wants to go back? So if you can get away from going back, I'm sure a lot of people will take it. And a lot of women, you know, they're clever. They'll come to UK. They'll try and get married. They'll try and have kids. And if you stay in UK long enough, obviously you can get citizenship as well. And if you get married to someone in UK as well, it makes it easier. And you know, you can get fast tracked to citizenship in UK. I mean, because you're Ukrainian. But if you're from Syria, if you're from Afghanistan, any other country, looking to stay in UK, good luck to you. You know, probably chances are you'll get sent to Rwanda. Anyway, guys, that's all I have time for today. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And if you can help me out, you can join my Patreon, or you can buy me a coffee. Really, really appreciate your help and support. I've got some issues with YouTube at the moment, and I'll show you what. And you can see a lot of my videos are starting to get demonetized. You see everything on the right. Every single video I've been uploading lately is demonetized. I've tried changing the names and the description. I've avoided putting names like Ukraine, AZOV, NAZI, things like that. I don't swear in my videos. I don't know why they get demonetized. It's mainly because I'm going against the narrative. So it's a shame, really. It's a real shame. I don't know how long more I'm gonna survive on YouTube. You know, I'm basically relying on support from you guys at the moment. So really appreciate you guys if you can join my Patreon to keep this channel going. um, it is up to you, but yeah, without the necessary funding I might have to close down the channel because I won't be able to survive, to be honest. But I'll keep going for now, don't worry, I'll keep going for now, but your support is very, very helpful. Anyway, that's all for today, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and do what you can to help the channel. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you soon.